Hi, and welcome to Actionable Insights, where we are pulling great ideas from cutting-edge business books and sharing them with you in 3 minutes or less. This session, we're talking about The Lean Startup, written by Eric Ries. Phenomenal book. If you haven't checked it out already, do so. You owe yourself a favor. So before we jump into this, it's important to define what a startup is. This is not just for those working in a garage or their parents' basement. The way that Eric Ries defines a startup is a human institution designed to create a new product or service under conditions of extreme uncertainty. And with that definition, we see startups in enterprise companies, in NGOs, even government, as well as in the garage and in the basement of your parents' place. So let's take a look at the cycle that Eric Ries defines in the Lean Startup. It's called the Build, Measure, Learn cycle. And the best way to think about this cycle is to think about a science fair project. Okay? When you think about a science fair project, you don't just create something and hope to create a project out of that. Instead, what you do is you come up with a hypothesis. You come up with something that you want to prove to the world and to yourself. So that's the learning part, is really what is it that we want to learn? What is it that we want to prove? Then how are we going to measure the progress towards that learning, that proof? And then what do we build in order to prove that learning or disprove it? And that's the whole point here. See, as venture capitalist Sean Corland says, startups don't starve, they drown. It's no longer a question of whether we can build something, it's a matter of whether we should build something or why we're building something. And with this build, measure, learn feedback loop, we're very specific on what we want to accomplish with building something so that we can actually then build the right thing to accomplish that learning. So the best way to go about doing that, as Ries defines, is through validated learnings. The objective in anything startup related is not to build something, but to learn something, to prove something, to learn more about what it is that your customer wants at the end of the day so that you can deliver that to them. Gone are the days, or should be, of spending 18 months locked away in a dark room and millions of dollars on development to create something in its entirety and then send it to market and hope that it works. Instead, what we need is small incremental growths. What Ries refers to as minimum viable products, or MVPs for short. This is what is the smallest possible unit that you can create to test a particular theory or hypothesis. What's the smallest thing? Even if it's a landing page, maybe you don't even build a product yet, you just build a landing page and send traffic to it and see what sort of response you get. Because if people aren't interested in your marketing, then they're not interested in buying it. And this is what comes back to at the end of the day, is we're building something that people genuinely care about. This book is brilliant. It's loaded with phenomenal topics, tons of them, way too many to go into here. The idea of pivots is covered heavily in this book. Vanity metrics versus actionable metrics and the importance of understanding the difference. Lean accounting and where you should be focused on with the numbers. Definitely check this out. It's full of great case studies, anecdotal stories. Until next time, I'm Chris Taylor, and these are your Actionable Insights.